Did you know over 1.2 million traffic tickets were issued in California last year? And nearly half of them came from cameras, not cops. That's right, you could be driving perfectly fine, following the rules, or so you think, only to find a $400 fine in your mailbox days later. In 2026, a new wave of California road laws is hitting drivers hard, and many people don't even realize they're breaking the law until it's too late. From automated speed traps hidden in city corners to tickets for using your phone while stopped at a red light, these laws are creating a silent storm. And they're not just about safety anymore. They're turning everyday habits into costly mistakes. Some of these rules feel like they're designed to confuse and punish rather than protect. So how do you stay safe and avoid getting caught on camera? Stick around, because we're breaking down the 10 most outrageous road laws in California this year and how they could be ruining your life without you even knowing it.
Number 1. Speed camera expansion statewide. Imagine cruising down a familiar road, just a few miles above the speed limit, nothing reckless, just keeping up with traffic. A week later, you check your mail and boom, there it is. A $300 speeding ticket, complete with a snapshot of your car, time-stamped and signed by a camera. You never saw a cop, never got pulled over, but you've been caught. In 2026, California has massively expanded its speed camera program, with over 40 cities now using automated enforcement. These cameras are placed in school zones, high accident areas, and even regular intersections where you'd least expect them. What's shocking is that they don't just ticket drivers going 20 miles per hour over the limit. Even being 5 miles per hour over can get you fined. There's no warning, no leeway, just a cold, robotic judgment. What's worse? Many of these cameras are unmarked or poorly signposted, so you might never know you're being watched until it's too late. And while officials claim this is about safety, drivers are calling it a cash grab, arguing it punishes people instead of educating them. So how do you protect yourself? Start using real-time traffic apps like Waze or Google Maps. These apps are powered by user alerts and can notify you when you're approaching a known speed camera. Also, set your cruise control on highways. It might feel annoying, but it can save you hundreds in fines. The most important thing, stay alert. With AI-powered enforcement on the rise, you're no longer just being watched by officers, but by cameras 24/7. Even one careless moment could cost you more than you think.
Number 2. Zero tolerance for distracted driving, even at red lights. Here's a change that's already catching drivers off guard in 2026. Using your phone at a red light is now officially illegal across most Canadian provinces. That's right, even if your car is completely stopped, glancing down to check a message or skip a song can now cost you up to $1,200 in fines, plus distracted driving demerit points that could skyrocket your insurance. Many drivers assumed that using their phone while stationary was a legal gray area, but not anymore. The law has been clarified and tightened, and it comes with a clear message. If you're behind the wheel, your hands and your focus should be on the road. There's science behind this too. According to a cognitive study by the University of Toronto, even a 2-second distraction while driving can triple your risk of a collision. And those quick phone checks at red lights, they delay your reaction time when the light turns green, creating ripple effects that can lead to rear-end collisions, traffic jams, and even road rage. But here's the scary part. Many drivers are being ticketed without even realizing they did something wrong. Police officers are now monitoring intersections in unmarked vehicles and using dashcam footage to issue tickets after the fact. So what can you do? Activate the Do Not Disturb While Driving feature on your phone, or use voice-activated commands if absolutely necessary. Better yet, keep your phone out of reach completely. Out of sight, out of ticket range. Because in 2026, a simple glance at your phone, even at a red light, could cost you more than just a text reply. Number 3. Left lane minimum speed enforcement. You're cruising along the highway, doing exactly the speed limit, feeling confident that you're obeying the law. But suddenly, you see flashing lights in your rearview mirror. You're pulled over.
Why? Because you're driving in the left lane, and that's no longer enough. In 2026, California rolled out a new left-lane minimum speed enforcement law, and it's catching tons of drivers off guard. The rule? If you're not actively passing a vehicle, you shouldn't be in the left lane at all, even if you're going the speed limit. Sounds extreme? You're not alone in thinking that. Highway patrol officers are now empowered to pull over drivers in the left lane who are seen as impeding the flow of traffic. That means if faster cars are behind you and you're just cruising, you're suddenly the problem. This law is based on traffic flow studies showing slower vehicles in fast lanes increase the risk of rear-end collisions and road rage incidents. But the confusion lies in the gray area. What qualifies as too slow? You might think 65 miles per hour in a 65 zone is perfectly fine, but if traffic around you is doing 70 or 75, you could still be cited for not keeping pace. So what should you do? Treat the left lane as a passing-only zone. Once you've overtaken a slower vehicle, move back to the middle or right lane. Not only will this help you avoid tickets, it keeps traffic flowing smoothly and safely. This isn't just about speed, it's about strategy. Staying in the left lane too long could now cost you up to $238 per violation, and repeat offenses may impact your insurance. In California's new driving landscape, even going the speed limit in the wrong place is a risk.
Number 4. No phone mounts on windshields. You hop in your car, open your Maps app, and stick your phone right onto your windshield, like you've done 100 times before. But here's the shocker. In California, that simple act is now illegal in 2026. Yes, even if you're using it for navigation. Under the updated hands-free driving law, mounting your phone on the windshield, no matter how small or low, is now considered an obstruction of vision and a violation. It's a rule that's catching everyday drivers completely off guard. After all, how else are you supposed to follow directions? Police are now issuing tickets under the Visual Obstruction Clause, which previously applied to things like hanging fuzzy dice or stickers on your windshield. But in 2026, phones are the new target. Even if you never touch your phone while driving, just having it stuck up there could cost you a fine of $162 or more. Many drivers are frustrated, arguing that this law is less about safety and more about revenue. And they're not wrong to question it. If phones are supposed to be hands-free, why restrict the most visible, accessible place to mount them? So what's the workaround? The law now recommends placing your device in lower, non-obstructive positions, like on your dashboard, center console, or clipped to your air vents. The key is to keep it below the windshield line, without blocking your view of the road. It might seem like a minor change, but it's one that could save you from unexpected tickets and a serious hit to your driving record. In this new era of hyper-strict traffic laws, even where you place your phone matters.
Number 5. Daytime headlight law on highways. You're driving down a wide California highway on a bright, sunny day. Clear skies, great visibility, no rain, no fog. So you probably don't have your headlights on, right? Well, guess what? In 2026, that could get you pulled over and fined. California's new daytime headlight law now requires all drivers to keep their headlights on while driving on highways during the day, regardless of weather conditions. It might sound excessive at first, but it's part of a push to reduce highway accidents caused by low visibility, even in daylight. Studies show that vehicles with headlights on during the day are 25% more visible, especially in shaded areas, tunnels, and when moving at high speeds. This law is based on data from European traffic systems, where daytime running lights have been linked to fewer collisions. But here in California, many drivers are unaware of the rule, and it's costing them. If your headlights aren't on when you enter certain highway zones, you could face fines up to $200, especially if you're caught on camera or during a random highway patrol check. And no, daytime running lights that come on automatically don't always count, unless they include tail lights too. So what can you do?
First, check your vehicle settings. If you have an auto headlight mode, make sure it activates both front and rear lights. If not, make it a habit to manually switch on your lights whenever you hit the highway, even in full daylight. This law might seem like overkill, but in a world of distracted drivers and fast-moving traffic, every bit of visibility counts. Better to flick that switch than risk another surprise fine in your mailbox. If any of these laws surprised you or caught you off guard, drop a comment and tell us your story. We put a ton of effort into making these videos to keep drivers informed, so if you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it means the world to us. Number 6. Stricter rules for U-turns at intersections. You approach an intersection you've used for years. It's wide, open, and you've made a U-turn here a dozen times before. But this time, flashing lights appear behind you. Turns out, that U-turn just became illegal, and you had no idea. Sound unfair? Welcome to California's 2026 U-turn crackdown. Under the new rules, U-turns are now restricted at more intersections than ever before, even ones that didn't previously have a no U-turn sign. Cities across California have quietly updated their traffic plans, increasing U-turn bans in areas with heavy pedestrian traffic, complex signal timing, or recent accident reports. The frustrating part? Many of these changes haven't been clearly marked. Drivers are making legal-seeming U-turns only to be slapped with a $238 fine after getting pulled over or caught on traffic cameras. And the reasoning? Officials say it's all about improving traffic flow and pedestrian safety. According to traffic studies, U-turns in crowded intersections can delay green light timing and put crossing pedestrians at risk. But for drivers, especially those navigating unfamiliar neighborhoods or using GPS directions, this change feels more like a trap than a safety feature. So how can you stay out of trouble? Always check for updated signage. Some no U-turn signs have been added recently, but others might still be pending. If you're unsure, it's safer to continue down the road and use a dedicated left turn lane or make 3 right turns to loop back. It may not be the most convenient option, but in 2026 California, playing it safe is cheaper than getting fined. One quick turn can now cost more than a tank of gas and leave you wondering how you broke a law you didn't even know existed. Number 7. No right turn on red in urban zones. You're at a red light in downtown Los Angeles. There's no one crossing, the coast is clear, and you make a smooth right turn, something you've done 100 times, but within seconds, a flash goes off. A red light camera just nailed you, and a $490 fine is already on its way. Welcome to one of California's most confusing new rules of 2026. No right turn on red in designated urban zones. This law has rolled out across major cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, mostly in areas with heavy foot traffic. But here's the catch: not all intersections are clearly marked. In the name of pedestrian safety, officials have expanded these no-turn zones near crosswalks, public transit stops, and busy commercial districts. It's based on studies showing that allowing right turns on red increases near misses and accidents involving pedestrians. But many drivers are saying this law does more harm than good, creating confusion, hesitation, and sudden braking. Worse still, enforcement is mostly done by red light cameras, which means even if you roll to a complete stop and turn cautiously, you can still get ticketed if the system flags it. And most people don't realize they've done anything wrong until they get that painful notice in the mail. So, what's the fix? When you're driving in city areas, especially near downtown zones, schools, or crosswalk-heavy intersections, assume you cannot turn on red unless a sign clearly says you can. If you're unsure, wait for the green light. Yes, it might delay you by 30 seconds, but it could save you hundreds of dollars in points on your license. In 2026, caution is no longer optional. It's a survival strategy on California's urban streets. Number 8. Mandatory bicycle yield zones.
You're approaching an intersection when you notice a green painted lane crossing your path. No cyclists in sight, so you keep going. Business as usual. But a few days later, you receive a violation notice for failing to yield in a bicycle priority zone. Confused? You're not alone. In 2026, California introduced a sweeping update to its traffic code, creating mandatory bicycle yield zones across many urban and suburban intersections. These zones, marked by bright green paint, bike symbols, and sometimes new signage, require vehicles to yield to bicycles, even if the car arrives at the intersection first. This law is part of the state's push to reduce the rising number of cyclist injuries and deaths. In fact, reports show a 15% increase in bicycle-related accidents in 2025, largely in shared zones where drivers either failed to yield or weren't aware of the cyclist's right-of-way. But here's the problem. Many of these new zones look like regular bike lanes, and some aren't clearly marked. Drivers are being ticketed even when no cyclist is present, simply for failing to stop or slow down at the designated yield points. Fines can reach $300, and repeat violations can add points to your license. So how can you protect yourself? Start by being extra cautious at intersections where bike lanes cross or merge with vehicle traffic. If you see a green-painted bike box or lane, slow down and yield, regardless of whether a cyclist is there. These rules are enforced 24/7, not just during peak biking hours. This law is about awareness, and it's changing the way we share the road. In 2026 California, bicycles aren't just part of traffic, they're being given priority, and failing to respect that can cost you big.
Number 9. Noise-activated exhaust ticketing. You're driving through a city street late at night, your engine purring, or maybe growling a little louder than usual. You're not racing, just cruising, but a few days later, you get a ticket in the mail for excessive vehicle noise. No cop pulled you over, so how did they catch you? Welcome to California's new noise-activated ticketing system, one of the most controversial laws introduced in 2026. Under this rule, acoustic cameras have been installed in busy urban areas and near residential zones. These devices detect cars that exceed a set decibel limit, usually around 95 decibels for standard vehicles, and automatically issue citations. What's shocking is that even stock vehicles, especially sports cars or trucks, have been ticketed just for a quick acceleration or passing through in the wrong gear. And modified exhaust systems? Forget it. You'll be flagged before you even finish a rev. Officials say the law is aimed at combating noise pollution, which has been linked to sleep disorders, stress, and public health issues. But critics argue it's being enforced too aggressively, turning normal cars into targets and turning casual drivers into violators. To avoid getting caught, stay mindful of your engine noise in camera-monitored zones, especially during late hours. Avoid revving at stops, and if you have an aftermarket exhaust, even a legal one, get it sound tested to ensure it's compliant with local noise ordinances. One loud moment could now cost you up to $1,000, depending on your city's enforcement policies. And if you ignore it, your registration could even be suspended. In California's 2026 driving reality, it's not just how fast you drive that matters, but how loud you are while doing it. And now, the cameras aren't just watching, they're listening.
Number 10. Hands-free zone expansion, even at red lights. You're sitting at a red light. The car's not moving. You quickly tap your screen to change a song or check a map. No big deal, right? Wrong. In California's 2026 law book, that single touch could now cost you hundreds of dollars. That's because the state has expanded its hands-free law to include moments when your car is completely stopped, like at red lights or in traffic. It doesn't matter that you're not moving. If you're on a public road and your engine's running, you are still considered to be driving under the law. This rule has already caught thousands of drivers off guard. People assume hands-free laws only apply when the car is in motion, but dash cam footage and intersection cameras are now being used to enforce this rule 24/7. One quick screen tap is all it takes to trigger a $250+ fine, with repeat violations leading to license points. Lawmakers argue this change is necessary because distracted driving starts the moment you stop paying attention, even at a red light. Studies show drivers who engage with their phones at lights are more likely to delay starts, miss changes in traffic flow, or even cause minor collisions when traffic resumes. So what should you do? If you need to touch your phone, pull over safely and park. Better yet, set your music, navigation, or messages before you hit the road. Use voice commands or built-in steering wheel controls to keep your hands and focus where they belong. In the new California driving world, idling doesn't mean immunity. The cameras are watching, the laws are tightening, and the safest move is keeping your hands completely off your phone, even when you're...
So, there you have it. 10 road laws in California that are silently reshaping the way we drive in 2026. Some were introduced in the name of safety, others in the name of efficiency. But for many drivers, the result has been the same: unexpected fines, frustration, and fear of being caught on camera for doing things that used to be totally normal. From making a U-turn at your usual spot to checking your phone while stopped at a light, even small, everyday actions can now lead to big penalties. And what's more alarming? Many of these laws are being enforced without direct interaction from a police officer, just cameras, sensors, and automated systems silently tracking your every move. Whether you agree with these changes or not, the reality is clear. Driving in California has changed. Staying informed isn't just helpful anymore, it's essential. The more you know, the better you can protect your wallet, your license, and your peace of mind. So ask yourself, how many of these laws have you accidentally broken without even realizing it?